Hope you guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today in the studio, I've got one of my mentees, Ashley, with me. One of the reasons I wanted to get him in was just to talk to you guys about serviced accommodation, which I guess is all I ever talk about, and just to introduce you to what the process is like. And I'm going to ask him some questions. We haven't prepared for this, so it might be some uncomfortable truths. And do you know what? He's on my mentorship program, and I might hear some things I don't want to hear. So I'm just going to throw it all out on the table. And I'm not even going to, well, I am going to edit just in case he says anything not too nice about me. But Ashley, thank you so much for coming and welcome.
Problem.
Yeah, good. So we met a few months back. We met before lockdown.
Yeah, January.
January,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So Ashley did you ever come to my introduction event? No, you didn't.
No, I went to a different introduction event.
Aha, so someone else has one.
Yeah, Progressive Property, in fact.
Ah, okay, so
Yeah.
you went to Progressive.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. But you decided to work with me?
Yes.
Yeah! No shade. Progressive, great, well done to them. So you went to an introduction to serviced accommodation?
Yes,
or?
yeah.
Okay, cool. How was that for you?
In their Peterborough office. Yeah, it was good. It
Yeah?
was an eye-opener. It made me realise that's what I wanted to do.
Amazing. See, this is so interesting, and that's why I love doing interviews like this, because I keep shouting from the rooftops. There are these people that do every single strategy under the sun, and I'm saying, well, no, that's not the effective way of doing anything, because if you don't know about one specific strategy and you know about every single thing, you can't become an expert in one, and you're unlikely to even succeed because you're doing so many different things.
Exactly.
So you went to an intro event, you found out about service accommodation, and you said, you know what, that's the strategy I want to do. Yeah. So I know your mum.
Mm-hmm.
I think I spoke at an event many years ago, where I think I met your mum at that event.
Yes.
So she reached out to me and she said, hey, my son's thinking about service accommodation. Are you able to work with him? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So you then came to my first paid event.
Yes.
Which is the Breakthrough Service Accommodation Program. How was that for you?
That was unbelievable, if I'm honest.
Yeah?
In terms of the content. I knew it would be a long day. Didn't think it'd be as long as it was.
So let me pause you. So my service accommodation training is usually around 12 hours. So we start at 9 or 10 in the morning and it goes on till every single person in the room is tired, but more importantly, they get it. Because I have this philosophy, there's no point of giving you half information. Like many trainers actually do this, and it kind of irks me because someone pays for something, but they only tell you the good parts about the business.
Exactly.
So, hey, I want to get into service accommodation. Well, service accommodation is great. You can make a heck load of money. But they don't tell you about the frauds, the parties, the escorts, the fights. And that's what I pride myself on. I think we spent a good percentage of the training actually telling you about all the negative stuff.
That was the first part of the training.
Yeah, exactly. So what I tried to do, I remember on the first slide is I try and hit them in the face straight away to let them know what the training is going to be about. It's not going to be some rosy, you're going to be rich tomorrow training. This is likely to happen. Someone is going to try and maybe take over your property, have a party in your property. It's going to cost you money if you don't do this and this and this.
Yes,
How important do you think it is to get someone that will tell you the entire story, as opposed to someone just telling you bits and bobs and you going off home kind of happy?
Yeah, I think it's extremely important, especially in terms of managing your expectations. Because you could walk away just thinking, oh, this is the best thing ever. I'm just going to be successful overnight, etc., etc. And I think the most important thing is the fact that you said it at the start, and then you told us how to get over those issues if they do come to us. So
interesting when they do come.
Yeah.
Because you've now gone and done something absolutely crazy. So in fact, let's actually rewind. Well, let me so I don't forget. He's now taken on 2 service accommodation units, but we're going to talk about how crazy you are later on. But I remember specifically, we sat here in the office in January or February.
Yes.
And you were going to some viewings after a training. So I think did we do a deal?
Yeah, that was
training?
after the
Deal packaging. Yeah. So we did a deal sourcing training, and on that day you went off to go and view a property in Canary Wharf.
Yes.
And then things progressed, and then we looked at some other deals, and then we decided we were going to take deals on in Milton Keynes.
Yes.
Cool. We signed the contract.
Yep.
Yes. Signed the contract in Milton Keynes. Looked at. So you went over there. You viewed a few properties.
Viewed about 5 or 6 that day.
So that's good. See, that's so important because people think deals are just going to fall on their lap, but the reality is you had to actually find them.
Yeah.
And from what we learned on the deal packaging training, in fact, let me do this. And this interview isn't actually to talk about myself, although I do like to talk about myself, but just talking about the deal packaging training. You did that. I showed you some things that you could do to get landlords, agents, and developers to want to work with you. And you started doing those.
Yeah.
And I remember you sent me a message saying, oh, yeah, these agents are offering me deals in this location and this location. And we did the analysis on Milton Keynes. You went to view some in Milton Keynes, and we decided to put in an offer in Milton Keynes. You paid the holding deposit, and then what happened?
COVID-19.
And then our best business destroying friend, COVID-19 hit. We were still thinking about going ahead. So we were deliberating, and I think that's, in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's one of the powerful things of having a mentor.
Definitely.
So my mentoring, again, I say it is a little bit different to what the general mentoring scheme is in the UK. My mentoring is availability. So whenever you've got an issue, what can you do?
Contact you.
Literally just get in touch with me. Call me, email me, WhatsApp me, and I come back as soon as possible. Because the whole idea is, if you make a mistake because you don't know what you're doing specifically, it could have devastating effects.
Exactly.
So we went back and forth on Milton Keynes.
Yes.
And although I didn't want to, because it makes me look great when I say, oh my God, my mentee's been with me for just X amount of time and they've picked up 2 keys in Milton Keynes, or they picked up X amount of that would be amazing for me. But we had to come to the decision that, you know what, it's not worth that risk.
Yeah.
And we don't know what is happening in the market, and we shouldn't do it.
Exactly.
So what happened during that period? What were you doing during the last 2.5 months with regards to your business and your service accommodation and deal packaging business?
Well, in terms of that, I was a little bit gutted that I couldn't take on the deal straight away, but I was also relieved as well, because I was panicking. I was thinking, what is going to happen to the market, especially in that period of time. So I didn't get my head down. I was still quite optimistic about what could happen in the future. So I was just researching, going through my notes from the courses.
Okay.
Just like.
Okay. Tell the truth on this part. Were you scared? Because let's do it this way. So you thought you were going to take on those units in Milton Keynes, which means you were officially going to get started.
Yeah.
Were you scared to get started?
I was scared to get started. I was definitely scared to get started.
Yeah. So it's such a natural feeling. I don't know why so many people hide it. Fear is so real. I remember when I was taken on my first, for the guys who know my story, I had a bunch of them. The owners took them back and I went off and started my own journey. And taking on my own one by myself without having, let's say, any support, it's the most scariest thing in the world.
Definitely.
Because yes, you've got everything on theory. You've got all the papers, you've got the notes, but you're actually doing it for real now.
Exactly.
Yeah. So again, you learn how to get agents and landlords to offer you deals.
Yeah.
You actually found multiple in Milton Keynes as well that you were going to sell on.
Yeah.
So with regards to your deal packaging now, are you fully compliant now?
But yeah, I'm fully compliant.
Cool.
I'm ready to just contact agents again and get out there.
Amazing. So again, the reason I asked that question is for the people who are watching this and who are interested in getting started in service accommodation, if they don't know how to speak to agents, landlords or developers or tie up deals, would you be happy for them to contact you and say, hey, look, this is what I'm looking for. Can you actually help me get started?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah? I've got the confidence now to speak to agents, and I know what exactly I need to say to them.
Do you know, I love what you just said. See, it makes me happy because I'm getting old now, and tiny little things make me happy. It's what you just said is I've got the confidence now. So us working together, you wouldn't have had the confidence to get that started.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, and I love that, and I love that for your honesty. Thank you so much. So let's fast forward. COVID is coming to an end. Lockdown is loosening up a little bit. Now we're looking at more deals.
Yes.
You're looking at one in Birmingham. You went up to Birmingham to go and view it.
Yeah.
You loved it. You liked it. You put in an offer straight away.
Yeah.
And you tied that one up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, question: how are you running your serviced accommodation in Birmingham and you live all the way in London?
Well, thankfully, there was a couple that I met on your course, the deal packaging course.
Shout out to Nikki and Ezigo. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they actually took on apartment in Birmingham,
Yeah.
a couple of months. I think it was before COVID.
Yep.
And they had found like a cleaner maintenance company. So I reached out to them. They provided me with like their Instagram details. And yeah, so I just went on their profile, had a little look at what they do, contacted them. And then when I did go up to Birmingham, I went again after the viewing, and I met up with the cleaner, and straight away I could tell she knew what she was doing. Yeah.
She could do the job.
And she'd already been doing it. She was telling me about other people that she works with and stuff like that. So
do you know what? I'm really happy you actually brought them up. So Ezigo and Nikki did my training. I think they did it on the same day as you.
Yeah, the deal packaging.
They were because I remember doing their goal setting here, and then you were going off to your viewing in Canary Wharf. Yes. Okay, cool. So they did their deal packaging training with me here, and they went off on immediately and picked up a unit in Birmingham. So I was in Atlanta when Ezigo sent me a message. He said, "You'll never believe it." I was like, "What?" I said, "I've got my unit and it's up and running." I was like, "No way!" I remember in Atlanta, the time difference is so crazy. So I'm thinking maybe I'm hallucinating because I'm just tired. So I'm like, am I reading this correctly? He's got his unit straight away. So those are the people who, they're already in Birmingham. They've got the systems already, and they were able to pass you over someone. Yeah. And that's the benefit of having a network.
Definitely.
That's so important. Yeah. So you've done something crazy. You picked up a unit in Birmingham. Mm-hmm. Do you mind if I ask you how much it cost roughly to get started in Birmingham?
So I think the deposit was the same as the
rent.
Okay. So that's 845.
Okay, so let's say
so about 1.7.
Okay, yep.
And then 1.5 for the furniture because it was
already fully furnished.
Yeah. So 1.5. So that's about 3.2.
Is that free? Okay, yeah. So 3,200. Yeah, because the place was already furnished.
Yeah.
And cool. So around 3,200 to get started.
Yes.
So once things kick back into full gear, again, I don't want to make up figures. We're anticipating anything around 700, 800, and maybe in some good cases, maybe £1,000 per month.
Yeah.
Would you say that's a good return on investment?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because you've now picked up a property for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, potentially 5 years, because you can keep extending if you want. And okay, let's go back, guys. Sorry, look, I get excited about talking about service accommodation, so I'm trying to answer as many questions that I think you guys want to know. Why did you choose rent to service accommodation as opposed to all other property structures? Did you go to Progressive's multiple streams of income?
No, I went to Samuel Leeds'.
Ah, okay.
That was a few years ago as well.
Okay, so you went to Samuel Leeds' generic, so where they talk about different events.
Yeah.
Did service accommodation catch your attention then?
No,
not at all. Yeah.
At that time it was HMOs.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then you went to Progressive's one specifically for service accommodation.
Yeah.
And what caught your eye about rent to service accommodation?
Well, I actually done a webinar a couple of weeks before that that course, and it was just the barrier to entry. Yeah. And in terms of the finances that were involved, because I actually already took on a HMO with my mum a couple of years ago, and obviously that took like a large chunk out of our budget. So, in terms of the money that you need to get into serviced accommodation, rent to serviced accommodation, it was a no-brainer for me. Cool.
So that's one of the reasons I preach this specific strategy. I could teach on buy-to-let, I could teach on commercial conversions, but I stick to teaching serviced accommodation because exactly what you just said, the barriers to entry. Yeah. And think about it this way. This is so crucial. The most popular property strategy in the UK is the buy-to-let strategy, which means there are hundreds of thousands of properties out there. Mm-hmm. The landlord or the owner has bought this property so that they can get a rental return. Yeah. They want rent every single month. Yeah. And we're running a business that requires us to find a landlord out of the hundreds of thousands who wants to rent their property.
Exactly.
And give it to us, and we can pay their rent and we can make a profit on their rent. And all we have to do is rent their property. Yeah. Absolutely crazy. Yeah. And that's why I love the strategy. So you've got one in Birmingham. That's picking up well. That's going well. Yeah. You're able to stay in London and you don't have to go down there because you've got a management team essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you've got a responsible cleaner that's managing things over there. Yeah. Now you've got another unit in Canary Wharf.
Yes.
Now let's talk truth here. Your first guest arrived today. Yesterday. I could tell, so I made myself extra available because I could tell that this is a crucial period. This is everything we've been teaching, getting you up to this moment.
Yeah.
And I know you were slightly nervous.
I was,
Yeah.
and especially that booking came in the evening before.
As a last minute
Yeah,
booking.
so
Yeah, so
I was panicking.
I sat back and I was saying to myself, man, I want to be a good mentor. And by being a good mentor, it's not actually what you guys think it is. By being a good mentor in my mind was I should leave him to deal with the whole situation himself because I trust the education that you've been given.
Yeah.
And I know that you're going to do it regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
But I sat down and I said to myself, oh my God, remember when you had your first booking? So for the people that know, I think I've said this over and over in multiple videos. I think I have some form of PTSD just from serviced accommodation. Now again, guys, I'm not taking the mick out of anyone that has PTSD, but I'm talking about up until today. And if I show you my phone, so we know, have a look at my phone. Do you see that signal, that button right there?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Is that the sleep thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's the do not disturb sign.
Yes, that's the one.
So for the last 3 years now, my phone has never rang. I can't hear my phone ring simply because of the experiences I've had in service accommodation.
Yeah.
And if I had a mentor then, I don't think I would be in this situation whereby whenever my phone rings, I jump. I remember times where my phone would ring and it was just a friend calling me or a family member calling me, but I would jump because I'm thinking, phone ringing equates to customer or guest calling
I've been
about an
thinking
issue.
that the last 12 hours.
Of course, that's the point I was making in terms of that's why I wanted to make myself more available in case, because you're going to be going through that. It's, are they going to complain about the hot water? Oh, yeah, well, see, look at, so you messaged me about the hot water. Is there going to be an issue? Do I need to run there? Do I need to sort this out? And you're not going to be able to get any sleep.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to sleep for years based on that experience. I remember there was a time, it was around 3 or 4 a.m. I was lying down in bed and I was in and out of sleep because I was saying to myself, I've got so many guests due to check in. I don't know what time it is. I don't know if it's 4 a.m. or 4 p.m.
Yeah.
I've got a guest that's supposed to arrive at 4. And all I remember was I rolled out of bed and landed on the floor. And I was like, you know what, enough is enough.
Yeah.
Now I need to hire staff.
Yeah.
That was the beginning for me to say, I can't do this anymore. I've got to hire staff to take over and run every single thing for me. So in Canary Wharf, you've got your first guest. They went in there yesterday.
Yeah.
Would you say you're a bit more confident based on all the understanding and all the potential scenarios that we've gone through?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's just been running through my mind. Like even the last couple of weeks since I've officially taken over the tenancies, I've been having a few sleepless nights. I've been thinking about what I need to do, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And then what I do, I'll make a list while I'm in bed,
Yes.
just so I don't
So you
forget.
forget,
Yeah.
yeah.
But in terms of getting through, I think that was the last stage of the process for me in terms of knowledge, applying it,
Yes.
and getting it done.
Yeah. How powerful would you say is, or how important would you say is to have a mentor?
I think it's extremely important. Even like being on the course, you can make all your notes and stuff, but it's actually doing it, and then you'll come into certain scenarios and you won't know what to do.
Yeah.
But having that person that you can just call or message, and get an answer pretty much straight away, that is.
I guess it gives you
invaluable.
that sort of thing. Oh, invaluable. So it gives you that sort of confidence.
Yeah.
So whatever confidence I'm giving you, because even in the messages yesterday, I just had to finalize it by saying it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking I could end up projecting my fears and my experience with regards to your first ever check-in. But I was trying to be cautious to say, look, you know what? Let's go for it, but make sure we put these precautions in place because things do happen. Yeah. So in service accommodation, yes, it's an amazing strategy. Now, would you say it's a get-rich-quick scheme?
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
But when you came to my event, didn't I tell you guys it's a get-rich-quick scheme?
No.
Okay, cool. Let's clarify that. And I wanted to ask it that way. Service accommodation is so far from a get-rich-quick scheme. There are trainers out there are coaches out there are mentors out there that would lead you to believe that once you take on your first unit, you're going to become a millionaire the next day. The reality is, in fact, it's not a strategy. It's an entire business.
Yeah, it's an actual
You're
business.
now essentially running two separate businesses because there are two separate locations that need to be managed in different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
So, in essence, you're like a Tesco, and I always use Tesco, but you're like a Tesco head office, and you've got branches in different places, and you've got to know how to organize your staff here, and you've got to know how to organize your staff here, and how to keep your customers all happy. So this is so important. If you run serviced accommodation, you've got to treat it like a business.
Definitely.
Otherwise, you do it as a little joke, and you lose money.
Yeah, you've even got to think about like marketing and how you're gonna who you want to appeal to.
Absolutely.
All of that sort of stuff, and getting your brand out there. So it is definitely a business.
So what's the next step for you? So ideally, so you know how to deal package, you know how to get landlords and agents to give you properties, you know how to find investors, and I'm sure a few people will reach out to you, and I'll put your details on the bottom of this video as well. But what's the next step for you in service accommodation?
I'd say the next step, because I'd done a plan review back in February, I believe.
Yes.
And my goal was to get 2 serviced accommodation properties. I've done that now.
Oh yes, it was.
Yeah,
yes,
that was my goal. And my other goal was for me to source. I think it was 2 or 3 properties as well. So I think I want to like put my head down and get some deals sourced and sold. Yeah. And then just like build up my income to get the next couple of service accommodation.
So for the people that don't know what deal packaging is, what is it essentially?
So you're basically, it's the same process as what you'd do if you're finding your own deal for service accommodation. You go through that whole process. Once you've found a deal, you can speak to a couple of investors. If you've got investors, you speak to them, let them know you've got this deal on the table, and then you hook them up with the estate agent or the landlord.
Yep.
And
and they pay you a fee once it all goes through.
is...
So I call deal packaging the KFC combo strategy, which simply means you go into KFC. We all go into KFC for one reason, that's to buy the chicken. And when we get there, the man at the front till says, "Would you like some wings with that?" And we say, "Yes, please. Why not, boss?" And that's what deal packaging is. It's a strategy or a business that accompanies your core business. So while you're focusing on running your service accommodation business, you're also working with landlords, agents, developers to find deals for your own business, to grow your business. But there are going to be a few deals that don't work specifically for you and your portfolio and what you're trying to build. Rather than just losing those, you can turn that into an additional business by finding investors and selling those for £1,000, £2,000, £3,000. So you've got your 2 service accommodation, you've got your focus on deal packaging now. What's your overall property goal? In an ideal world, what would you like to be doing?
I'd actually like to delve into a couple of other strategies. So like I said, I've got my HMO. I wouldn't mind having like a buy to let just to have like a residual steady income. Flips, I'm interested in doing some flips as well. So the goal is just to kind of gain knowledge in other strategies, and use the income that I've gained from service accommodation and also the experience.
Cool.
So it's to progress.
What I like about what you said, which is quite important, is you're looking at growing.
Yeah.
So for me, it was first service accommodation, then buy to lets, now commercial conversions. Yeah. So again, there's so much scope, but why service accommodation is so important is because it's low entry level, and it's something that pretty much anyone can actually do. Yeah. And then you use that as a stepping stone to get to the next strategies, and then get to a place where you're owning and you're developing and essentially you're controlling that asset.
Yeah.
So no, I absolutely love that. This is a question I wanted to find out from you. So COVID hit, you had every opportunity to get out of property. You had every opportunity to say, "Do you know what? This is long. I'm not going to go ahead." Yeah. Why did you pursue? The first answer that comes to your head. Tell it.
Drive.
Yeah.
That is the main thing. I've got a little baby who's just turned 1. So I know that I need to stand up and be the head of my family and be able to provide. I've always never seen myself as someone that's just going to be working 9 to 5 for the rest of my life. Yeah. I've always thought somehow or some way I'll be able to have a business or create some sort of legacy that I can pass on.
How important is that for you?
I think that's extremely important. Could be, like I always say, we only get one life, and and to make a mark or impact in the world or in someone's life in some shape or form. I think that's really important, and especially in terms of kids. Like now, like within the last year, I've been able to see a little person grow. So in terms of that, being able to have an impact on their life and setting them up to succeed, I think that's really important.
That's really incredible.
Yeah.
So would you say in order to succeed in anything or in property, you've got to have a big, massive drive?
Yeah, definitely. You've got to have a goal. You've got to have a drive and a willingness to do it, because a lot of people have goals, but getting up and being able to actually push yourself and do it, that's another thing. It's difficult, especially when you're working full time. So
let me ask you this, and again, I don't hide it. I charge money. I charge quite a lot of money for my training programs, for my mentoring programs. Would you say, number one, let me ask you some quick fire questions. Would you say you've got value for the training and the mentoring and the money that you've paid me?
100%.
Yeah?
I wouldn't have two service accommodation properties if I did it. There's absolutely no way.
Yeah, true. Service accommodation properties, confidence, as you mentioned, a skill.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Would you say if you hadn't paid any money, you would still be pursuing service accommodation?
Probably not. I'll probably be looking at the next thing that I can be doing, and I'll just be bouncing around different ideas. But I think that's the issue. A lot of people just look for freebies and stuff like that. But once you actually decide and find what it is you actually want to do, I think you just got to go the whole way and see it out. And even if it doesn't work, you can say that you've tried.
Spot on. So one of the reasons, and I say these at my introduction events, because I tell people straight, yes, this is a free event. I'm going to sell you something. I'm going to offer you something. I would love to give it away for free. I have the capacity to give it away for free. Yes, I like to make money from this because this is my experience that I'm trading. However, if I gave it to you for free, you wouldn't take it as serious because you have no skin in the game.
Exactly.
You have nothing to lose. So again, I look at your situation and I say, COVID could have put a spanner in the works and just said, you know what, this is long, let me look at something else. But the fact that you've paid for something, and you've got a missus, haven't you?
Yes.
So let me know this. You've paid all this money, and then you go home, and you want to sit down and watch EastEnders. What's she going to say?
What are you doing?
Exactly.
What are you doing?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You better go out there, work hard, and actually recoup that money and make profit on top. Cool. Is there anything you want to say to the people before we shoot off today?
I just want to say, if you've got a goal or you're thinking of getting into serviced accommodation, and you're maybe procrastinating a little bit, I'd say just get your head down, just give it a go, try, get your knowledge up. I've had a couple of people already asking me how I got into it and what I would advise, and I'd always advise just research, go to a few courses, and then just go for it, give it a go, and all the best.
Amazing. And what you're saying is exactly what you did.
Yeah, exactly.
You went to a few places, and I guess you chose the best person in serviced accommodation. I say just in serviced accommodation. And yeah, here we are now. So well done. Again, proud of you. I think what you're doing is incredible. So many people would have used COVID as an excuse not to push themselves, would have used that as an excuse to back out. But no, well done as well. And I'm sure you're going to go off and do crazy things just because of your drive and ambition. So guys, thank you so much. If you got value from this video, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. And do me a big, massive favor. If you know someone that's interested in getting into property, make sure you share this video with them. I'll catch you soon. Bye from Ashley.